Hello everyone, so welcome to Things to Invest. Talk about investing, finance, and fresh development. For today's terms only, the investment top today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. And also my second video attempt posting again today, with respect to recording time of 1:04 p.m. on Eastern time, current trading $3,161, down about 1.07% so far. With respect to overall market today, we are experiencing a relatively sizable sell-off, right? With respect to both crypto side and the equity side. And the key catalyst is mainly coming from two specific macro one, right? One is obviously the Taliban overtake of Afghanistan media affectation. The other one is the COVID variant. Seems like the cases are worsening on a daily basis. And it seems like, we are foreshadowing some sort of a lockdown or a shutdown on a countrywide perspective going forward. So with these two negative news, obviously will drive fear mongering among public investors, but obviously with the hedge funds already got indicator earlier this morning, which subsequently have that drop sell, to sharply sell us off in the morning, and then subsequently we've been just percolating on the downward trend sideways fashion, more of like escalator downward curve, ever since, right? So I'm gonna go through a technical analysis. Seems like Ethereum, we are still trading on a sideways fashion, right? With respect to MACD, we are still forming a cross section, and it seems like we are forming it as we speak at the moment. On top of the fact, RSI is slowly depleting, with that oscillations on a sideways fashion and that upward wedge that seems like is forming. So definitely a bearish sign based on how the picture is showing right now. So I'm gonna take a look at that closely together. So stay tuned, stick around, let's make some money. So moving on to the technical analysis for Ethereum ticker ETH, on recording of 1:06 p.m. on Eastern time, current trading $3,166, down about 0.91% so far. And I was having lunch earlier today, and I had like a bunch of meetings this morning, so just like my throat is like killing me right now. But with respect to some of the news that I saw, we have a couple of like positive news, but not a lot of substantive news. With respect to DeFi, with their 1-inch network, it launches on Ethereum scaling platform. So obviously another stamp of approval from another technology company. And then some other news that's been percolating around respect to Cardano investment products leads the weekly crypto inflow with 1.3 million as Bitcoin and Ethereum loses 23 million. Another juxtaposition news on the depictions around the various value proposition of different crypto assets, as if you may, right? And then some other reinforcing news that we have already talked about this morning is with respect to TikTok partners with a Ethereum power base music streaming app called Audius, right? Obviously another stamp of approval from the tech giants. So it seems like with respect to the technicals now, as we are looking at it, we are also in a sideways fashion. We are basically laying on a cushion or sofa, if you may, depending on how you want to be, being comfortable. $3,150, right? And today's high was $3,293 because of the anti-correlation effects that occurred earlier this morning on the equity side. We sold off relatively sharply, and subsequently we've been having the escalated downward trend, right? Also with some of the positive news that we heard today, right? That subsequently drove into the mixture of what we're seeing right now. So something that is, death cross that we have been talking about in the last 3 videos so far, you can see that we're forming a cross section right now. And when we form a cross section, whenever the MACD line cross over the signal line, is always a bearish sign. And on top of the fact, RSI is slowly depleting. We are still leaning more of an overbought level. On top of the fact, on a sideways oscillation, right? I do see a sell-off coming. I think the chart is really telling us it's becoming very prominent at the moment. We might keep trading on a sideways fashion, but I think one of the catalysts that we might hear coming up, which is basically, I would say, a week and a half out from now, is the Jackson Hole speech that we'll be hearing from Jerome Powell, right? On the economic outlook going forward with respect to quantitative tightening or the tapering plan, right? How they're going to be dealing with the asset purchasing on a monthly basis, right? While keeping the job numbers as optimal as possible. But now we hear the COVID variant news that's been percolating on a sideways fashion, and it seems like it's getting worsening. That could be where the balloon pops on the crypto side. So something to be mindful of, right? So I would definitely practice patience, like I have been already. And I know this, this is not the most ideal way of investing. No, at least on a mental level, right? Because like it's like a video game, and I get it. You want to be very execution driven, but sometimes the best thing to do is to not do anything at all. And I think the best thing to do right now is to not do anything at all and wait on the sideline and watch how the movie plays out based on how we are basically projecting out. And we have a high likelihood to get back down to 2,750, get back down to 2,450, and these are the levels that would be dollar cost averaging going forward. Right, just to quickly recap on technical analysis, with respect to current level, it is not sustainable and the cross section is forming right now, so the death cross is definitely imminent. I think the likelihood of actually getting back down to 3,000 would be likely, but for me, I would just practice patience further, right, and wait for the 2,750, 2,450. We are still overbought, so I think that's important that we understand that dynamic right now. But if you want to buy now, totally fine. I could be completely wrong with respect to technicals, but based on my historical experience, I don't think that technicals ever lie to me. It's always telling me what's in front of me. So it's important that you obviously take that with a grain of salt, right? Execute a price level, based on your risk aversion and risk tolerance. But hold the long term 9,800 and the 12-month price target 323 times your money from here. So that's it for the Respectman technical analysis on the Ethereum ticket ETH. Hopefully this is helpful to give you more clarity and transparency. I have a bunch of meetings later this afternoon, so I want to conserve my voice, but I definitely want to be helpful to you guys by giving you the most up-to-date information on how we're trending, right? But yeah, feel free to give me any questions if you have any questions. Again, always available, always try to be responsive, and stay tuned for us to come out. Take care, bye.